All right, so my name is Adu-Twumwaah. As you've rightfully seen on the timetable by now, and this semester, I will be taking you through.
I'm taking it to what?
Okay, so I'll be taking you through the e-banking and e-commerce course. I have some background noise. Please, everybody keep quiet. I have not muted all of you because at this stage, I may get some responses from you. That is why I've not muted. But then when I start, I'll mute all of you. And no microphone is supposed to be on. Okay, so I was saying that I'll be taking you through, I'm the one taking you through electronic commerce, electronic banking and electronic commerce for this semester. And today being our first meeting, we are basically going to do introduction, of course. For you at your various place of participation, we cannot have, or I cannot make you introduce yourselves. I see your names here at least. But then when we meet on face-to-face, or when we meet for the face-to-face meeting, then you will have a formal introduction with each one of you. I mean, introducing yourself so that I can get to know you better. But for this evening, I'll be the only one introducing myself to you so that at least you have an idea about the person you are interacting with. Of course, my name is Adu-Twumwaah, and I have been with UPSA. This year is my 9th year. As in, I have spent 9 years at UPSA now. But overall, I have been lecturing since continuously. I've been lecturing continuously without a break since 2009. iPhone. Who is using an iPhone? I have 2 iPhones. One of them is disturbing. I have muted your microphone. Don't mute it again. I mean, don't unmute it. All right, so I was saying that I have been doing this business for the past, how many years now? 12 years continuously. But then this year, 2021 happens to be my 9th year with UPSA. And ever since I joined UPSA, I've taken up a lot of courses. But as we speak currently, I am the one taking you electronic banking and electronic commerce. And next semester, I will also be taking you regulatory and legal framework of financial institutions. As for me, like I always tell my students, you cannot do without me in level 300. So I'll be with you this semester and next semester. Now, a little information about myself. Like I said, it is important you know the person before you. At least it helps us to know the way forward. So still some information about me, aside, concerning my field of expertise. I do not only lecture banking and finance courses. I am someone with accounting background. So I also teach accounting courses. When I came to UPSA, I was teaching accounting courses, but now, because of credit hours, I don't want to go beyond my credit hours. So I only teach the banking and finance courses. I am also someone with legal background, law. I've done law and I'm still on it. I am in my second year at Ghana School of Law, Makola. So I have legal background also, and I'm doing my PhD also in law. So legal background is one of my areas. And also, I am a finance person as well. I have done MPhil finance. So that is how come I teach banking and finance courses, accounting, and I teach law-related courses as well. Now, aside my area of expertise or the areas I teach, I am married with 2 kids, girls, and I am somebody who also believes that there should not be any limits when it comes to achieving your goals in life, or you shouldn't limit yourself with the things you can do in this life. Because in this life, there are so many opportunities that if we are to take advantage of, it will really, really, really help us. So aside my academic background, I am also a fashion designer. I have my clothing line. I sew on commercial basis, as in I don't take fabric from people and sew, but what I do is that I have my own materials. I buy my own materials from Canada and US, and then I sew to supply a boutique I own. I do sewing myself, and I always tell my students that once you are in education, it doesn't mean that you cannot learn a skill. It is important to at least have some sort of skills that can help you when the need arises. Look at what happened with the coronavirus. A lot of people lost their jobs because they were only having jobs that require them going to the office, coming home, and then they get paid. But we saw what happened with the corona. A lot of businesses could not retain their employees. They had to lay some of them off, especially if you look at what happened to teachers. Most teachers who teach in the private schools, most of them lost their jobs because the private schools themselves could not even, sustain their operation. So they had to lay most of them off. So in times like this, if you have any other profession, let's say a skillful profession, that is when you see the benefits of having a profession which require you applying your skills, as in, what's the best term? How do you even call them? Vocation, sort of. So, and for me, what I did was that I used the internet. I made full use of the internet. The internet, as you see, as we will be looking at this semester too under electronic banking and commerce, there are so many things on the internet that we can actually capitalize on. In fact, the way we use the internet, we are underutilizing it. We can use it to do so many things, to learn so many things that is beyond human imagination. Now, I remember, I had always, the reason why I went into the sewing or the fashion designing business was that I always became pissed with the way that these fashion designers or the seamstresses or the tailors, it depends on, I mean, how you will refer to them. Now, you see, sometimes it becomes so pissing, so annoying when you give your fabric to a fashion designer or a seamstress or a tailor to sew for you, and then they will just be tossing you up here and there, giving you all promises and fail. I mean, coming up with excuses. And even sometimes when they end up sewing for you, they sew to your dislike. They will sew something that is either not your size or beyond your size. And it's so annoying. So in 2017, I'm sharing a story with you because I am somebody who likes motivating people. So when I share this story, you may take something from it which will help you. Today is the first day, and we are supposed to know ourselves. So my people, don't worry, okay? We will just be going through the course outline, and then I'll just explain some things on the course outline, and we'll be done for today. Today is just an introduction. So as I was saying, in 2017, I gave a Holland fabric to one designer, and in fact, she charged me. She charged me heavily. I wanted her to sew kaba and slit for me. Now, by the time I went for the clothes, the thing was so way beyond my size. I went into the thing and it was as if, you know, how we call it in our local dialect, you've gone in for somebody's clothes or something. It was too big for me. And I was surprised because this is someone who took my measurement. So how come the thing is not fitting the way I wanted the dress to fit? And the thing, I mean, the way it was, I mean, if there were to be some adjustments on it, the whole thing would have spoiled. So I just took the fabric, I didn't say anything. And I told myself, but prior to that, I had always told myself I'll learn how to sew. But when this incident occurred, I just told myself that why don't I learn how to sew? It was approaching Christmas. So I went to the office one day and learning how to sew too. My intention was not to go to a fashion school or to go to somebody who knows how to sew and then learn from the person. My intention was to learn it on my own, do it on my own, making full use of the internet. So I went to the office, my office, UPSC, I share office with Christina Votri, Madam Christina Votri. So I was in the office busily downloading videos on beginner sewing, pattern cutting, etc., etc. And then I remember Christine came in and asked me, hey, Deborah, why are you so busy? What are you so busy doing? Then I told her, I am going to learn how to sew. I'm downloading videos. And then she laughed, but one thing she said was, oh, okay, as for Deborah, I know you can do it. So I downloaded my videos, came home, and I decided to watch the videos and see, or, you know, get the basics or the foundation of fashion designing and all that. So I used 2 weeks watching videos, making notes on my own. You know, one advantage I got or I had was the fact that I'm a lecturer and I know how to prepare my own notes. Of course, you also have the same advantage. You are students, you know how to read and prepare your own notes. So, I mean, that is one advantage we have over our brothers and sisters who are not fortunate to have had some form of formal education. So I watched the videos, I made my own notes out of that. And after 2 weeks, I decided to put it into practice. So I took some old cloths I had, and then I did a cutting. And when I did a cutting, and I also did a sewing, I realized that, hey, this thing had worked. I was able to make a top, and I was so excited. So the second trial was to make a top for myself. And at that time, I remember I was teaching. So when I made a top, that very day after teaching, I told my class, can you believe that this top was made by me? Is it okay? Then they were like, oh, madam, it's good. Fine, I was motivated by that. Then I went ahead. So after some weeks, I realized I had perfected, or I was okay at that time with sewing for females, because I could sew kaba and slit, I could sew dress, I could make whatever for females. So when I realized I was okay with female sewing, I decided that why not learn how to sew for men? And because if you're a fashion designer, you should be all round. You should be able to sew anything. You should be able to sew gown, men's clothing, ladies' clothing, everything. So I said, okay, let me go back to the drawing board. I went back to YouTube, downloaded more videos on men sewing for men, and then I watched them, I practiced, I picked, it worked. Then I started sewing for my husband. So when I was sew for my husband, he would wear it. He would come home and tell me that he had a lot of fans, people praising the shirts and all that. I said, okay. So then in 2018, after 1 year of really mastering the sewing thing, some friends of mine told me to commercialize the business. So I said, okay, anyway, let me give it a try. I started sewing and selling. I was using the African prints to make shirts and all that. And I started sewing. People started buying. I was motivated. And then at a point, I realized that the customers I had, they were not interested in the African prints. They liked the foreign prints sewn in the African styles, like using jeans materials to sew kaftan, using other materials to sew, other types of clothing. So I decided that, okay, then let me try and get some foreign fabrics so that I will use that to sew for both men and women and then sell it. I did that, and the patronage was so encouraging. I had people buying, and so I decided to call my label. I have my own label now. That's clothing. That's as in Adu-Twumwaah, and the clothing starts with K. That's clothing, and we have. If I say we, the business is now a family business. So we have all types of clothing sewn in foreign fabrics. We have some African prints, all right, but we have most of our clothing sewn in foreign fabrics, but with African styles. You have kaftan sewn with jeans for men. We have kaftan sewn with other beautiful fabrics for women and all that. A whole lot of khaki, sack linen, etc., etc. So this is what I use the internet and social media to do. I learned how to sew without any face-to-face contact thing. In fact, I didn't even know how to hold scissors. But when I decided to learn how to sew with determination, I did it. So my brothers and sisters, what I'm telling you this evening is, don't think that because you are going to school, you should not learn a skill or a trade. It is always important. If you own your own business, it is good. After all, you may have a formal job, there's no harm in having your own side business. It even helps increase your revenue for your family. So that is it. I have, so if any of you happen to be interested in getting some nice jeans tops for men, some nice dresses in jeans and other prints, other fabrics, other types of fabrics like in sack linen, in khaki, etc., you can contact me and I may invite you to my boutique. I have a boutique in my house, or I do deliveries as well. It depends. That's a small free advert anyway. So that is something small about me. I'm sure by now you know the person you are dealing with. When we meet face to face, you'll see that I am not and how do I even say it? I'm not somebody who demotivates people. I'm somebody who likes encouraging people. So even in most cases, when I'm lecturing, what I do is that I always show motivational videos. You see, sometimes people will come to class, they may be going through a whole lot of difficulties in life, whether from the house or from the workplace, etc., etc. Sometimes the pains or the difficulties that we go through even end up taking the best of us. You'll be in class, but then your mind will be somewhere else. Sometimes you may be going through some difficulties which, makes you feel and even think that there's no hope. All hope is lost. But this evening, I'm telling you that all hope is not lost. You see, that problem you are going through or that difficulty you are facing, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. You may think that, oh, today I need money, I'm not getting money. So why is God so unfair to me? It is not the fact that God is unfair to you. That God knows why maybe you are going through the difficulty you are in now, because he wants you to have a testimony. He wants you to also share your story with others so that at the end of the day, some people may also pick some inspiration from your story. If you get to know me more, you will learn that I'm somebody who came from, I am not from a rich home. I always tell my students, I'm from a very poor home. And it is by the grace of God I was able to finish first degree. I attended Islamic University, first degree. I was part of the first graduating batch of Islamic University. And if you go to Islamic University, you mention my name, Deborah Adu-Twumwaah, they know me there because of the record I set there. Had it not been the fact that I received scholarship for being first in my class for 3 consecutive academic years, I couldn't have finished my first degree. Because as soon as I entered university, my daddy paid my first school fees and I entered. My daddy lost his job and I had to struggle to go through first degree. It wasn't easy. By the grace of God, I was able to win scholarship. And the scholarship, you see, at that time, Islamic University picked the first 3 best students in every class for every year, every academic year. The first 3 best, first, second, third, they gave us free tuition fee scholarship. And I was so fortunate to be first in my class at that time. For all those times I received the scholarship. And that scholarship is what has made me who I am today. So it is not easy. I always share my story. I went to Saito. I didn't go to international school like maybe some of you had the opportunity to go. But that Saito I went has defined what I have achieved today. I went through it the hard way. And the hardness, imagine you go to school and then you are told to go and fetch for cow dung. I attended Bantima Methodist JSS, Abepo Junction, Bantima. And those of you who know Kumasi, during the time I was in school, sometimes during the day, especially when it was time for agric, they will send us to go to race course and then pick up the horses dump and then the cow dump. We'll come and use it for manure to fertilize the school's garden. You see? Imagine you in school uniform and then you go and carry the cow dump, and some will be, you know, sometimes we use the hands to collect these dumps, and you will come and then pound. Those of you who have lived in the village or who have been through what I'm talking about, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So it is not easy. It is not easy at all. It is by the grace of God that we have made it thus far. So my brothers and sisters, whatever you are going through this evening, don't think that that is the end of the road for you. No, 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 no. There's more hope ahead. All you need to do is to trust in the Almighty. You trust in the Almighty, that's the end. Leave your problems to God. Let God solve your problems for you. For our brothers, I've seen Bashir is a Muslim, right? For our Muslim brothers and sisters who may be with us, you leave your problems to Allah. Allah will be the one to solve. You yourself cannot solve your problems. So it is always good to know that there's a higher power up there who can help you to, you know, do away with any challenges you are facing in life. That is something small I'll share with you this evening on personal introduction. When we start the face-to-face, normally I do my lectures with motivational videos. So I may be showing you some motivational videos before I start the class every time. And what we'll do is that as we are doing the online, there are some topics. I was discussing this with the class secretary this morning, that there are some topics that I'll let the class divide itself into groups. And then I think the last 3 topics, or it can be 1 topic or 2 topics, I'll let you research. And then when we start the face-to-face, you'll present to class. When you present, I'll allow for the class to ask you questions. Then I'll also come in with some more explanations so that you all understand the topics very well, and I will grade you. That group assignment will carry 20 marks, and we will have a midterm which we'll do online. We'll do the midterm online. We are in Corona season, and I don't want to conduct any test face-to-face. So we'll do a multiple choice exams, which will not last for more than 15 minutes online. It will be multiple choice. So I'll give you the dates and the time. When it is about approaching time, you set yourself up exactly. When it is exactly time, you start the work. After the time allotted to the test, the system will stop you, and it will grade you immediately. It will be marked immediately for you to know your score. So that is what we'll do. Now, that is it for the assessment. I will also take you through the course outline as to the details, what to expect this semester, the kind of things we'll be doing, and a whole lot of other things. So let me bring on the course outline. I hope you can all see the course outline. Everything that I'll be using this semester every lecture material, they are already on the LMS. So please try and visit the, now the LMS should be your friend, your partner, your everything, because that is where you will get all your information concerning academics this time. So please, if you haven't paid your fees, try and make efforts to pay. It is not easy. We all understand that we are not in normal times. So it has become very difficult for us, especially those of us who have lost our jobs. It is difficult paying fees, but it is not easy, I know, but please try and then make an effort so that you can pay your fees, because we are all paying fees. I also pay fees. And now it may interest you to know that because of the COVID-19, there are a whole lot of things that we have all, we're enjoying certain benefits that because of the COVID-19, we are no longer enjoying. The school has also lost a semester's revenue. So the school too is not in good financial terms. So it is not easy for all of us. The school needs your fees to be able to carry on with other things or important things that are supposed to be done to help the school grow. So please try and pay your fees so that you can have access to the LMS and then be able to access all your lecture materials and participate in all tests and assignments. Everything you see on your students portal when you log on to the LMS. Now your assessment, everything, you will see it. When we finish the mid-semester, you'll see your mark. When I mark the group work, your mark will be there. You will see everything. This time, it is not like the madam has marked our work, we didn't see our mark. This time, it is not like that. The LMS, everything is there. So you know your stand before you even write the final exams, the end of semester exams. You know exactly how much you are going to get, whether you are going to make an A or you are going to make whatever grade your performance deserves. So please, that is it. So this semester, we are going to look at, okay, by the way, you can locate my office at the Reverend J.J. Marte's block, the first floor, right wing, room 4. You come to first floor, you turn right, you count the number of rooms. The 4th room is my office. I share office with Madam Christina Votri. So that is where you can find me. My telephone number too is here. You can take down my telephone number. This is also my WhatsApp line. I always encourage students, if you have any problem as in academic problem or any family problem and you need somebody to talk to, you can call me. After all, it is always good to share your problem with someone, but you have to be mindful whom you share your problem with. There are certain people you share your problems with and you are dead because your problem will now be known to everybody because those people, they cannot be trusted. But you can be rest assured that when you share your problems with me, in fact, as lecturers, we double as counselors. So if you have any problem as a student, you can share your problem with us lecturers, with me as a person, and I will offer you help in any way that I can. If I say problems, please, I don't mean come and ask me that, Madam, please, I need money, oh, please. That one there, it should be out because we all need money. But I'm talking about maybe you have the problem that, as in maybe you're learning or you have a relationship problem or anything, please, for those ones, you can call me. Please don't call me during odd hours. If you call me and I'm not picking, you can WhatsApp me. And I will respond to you as best as I can. So electronic banking and electronic commerce is a very, very important banking and finance course. In fact, if you go through banking and finance as a program and you don't do electronic banking and electronic commerce as a course, then you have missed a lot, because we live in a world where technological development or changes have taken over. I mean, we are now in an era where technology defines the way things are done. So you cannot say that as for me, I am not somebody who was born during the computer day age. I was born before computer. Or as for me, I don't like technological developments because of blah, 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 blah. No. Whether you like it or not, in fact, the rate at which technology grows every day is beyond human imagination. So whether you like it or not, technology has taken over the world. So the earlier you join the team, the better for you. Look at what we are doing now. Look at now, we are having electronic learning. What has made this possible? It is technological advancement or development. So technology has now defined the way things are done, whether we like it or not. And banking and commerce has not been left out. Now you look at the banking industry of Ghana and around the globe, banking is now, or banking has been defined by technology. The way we do banking has been defined by technology. Gone are the days when you will open an account with a particular bank's branch and you could only access your bank accounts at only the specific branch you open the account. Gone are those days. That is no longer the reality in today's modern days of technological advancement. Now we have what we call what? Branch networking, which has facilitated banking or banks to share client information. I mean, various banks, branches to share client information on a common platform, such that if you open a bank account today, and let's say your branch is Medina, let's say you open Upsa's account, Medina branch, you can access your bank account even when you go to Tamale. Upsa's branch in Tamale, you can have access to your bank account and do whatever transaction you want to do, because there is branch networking. And branch networking is one of the technological developments which has come into banking. So technology has defined the way banking is done, such that as students, if the university does not equip you with the basic knowledge of how technology has reshaped the way banking is done, then it will mean that the university has done a lot of disservice to its students. But UPSA, we always make sure that we do things with professionalism and scholarship. So management thought it wise that there should be a course called e-banking and e-commerce. And this course is supposed to serve as a foundational course, which will help equip all banking and finance students to be well abreast with some of the technological developments that are happening in the banking industry. so that when you finish school and you find yourself employed with a particular bank, you will not find yourself wanting when it comes to how some of these applications work. So that is the reason why e-banking and e-commerce as a course was introduced, to equip students with basic knowledge in banking with respect to technological developments. So by the end of this course, or we will say that the objective of this course, there are lots, and I have already made mention of a lot of them. But if you check the course outline, the first objective you will see is to provide students with clear understanding of the concept of electronic banking. Now, the concept of electronic banking, you may have heard of it. Something that when we talk about e-banking, we are referring to internet banking. E-banking is not only about internet banking. Electronic banking go way beyond internet banking. In fact, electronic banking is the use of technological devices to aid banking. So there's a lot more that you need to understand about electronic banking. And it is also important that we also understand what we mean by digital banking. So one of the objectives is for you to understand digital banking, which is different from electronic banking, but which most of us think they are the same, but they are not the same. So in this class, you will get to learn about what digital banking is all about, what electronic banking is about, and the clear-cut difference between electronic banking and electronic commerce. So this, when you have this knowledge, plus other objectives that the course, seeks to obtain or achieve at the end of the course, which you can read in your own spare time together with the outcomes, you will get to, or you will see that you have become fulfilled at the end of the day. And you'll be able to take up all the technological challenges that you'll be presented with when you start working with the bank, or if you're already working with the bank. I know most of you are workers, evening students. So if you're already working with a bank, then it will help you to be able to understand certain things that you may not, you may not have full understanding because you have not gone through the specific area. So when you download the course outline, you can read the outline, the outcomes, and then the objectives. But I've already made mention of a lot of them when I started with the course content introduction. Now, I want us to go through the course outline, which has been given in weekly format, so that we know what to expect at the end of every week that we'll be meeting as a class, whether online or face-to-face. Now, week 1 is meant for introduction to the course and discussion of course outline, which is exactly what we are doing. So we have not deviated. Everything that is going on this evening is supposed to be as it is. We are going according to the course outline. So we are having this introduction to introduce electronic banking and electronic commerce as a course, what to expect, and then, what the course seeks to achieve. So in week 2, which will be next week, we will do introduction, as in introduction to electronic banking. Electronic banking. In fact, the course is in 2 main parts: electronic banking and electronic commerce, 2 courses combined as one. The first part, we will use the first week, the first weeks, as in maybe 5 weeks or so, to look at electronic banking, and then we will go into electronic commerce, and then the rest of the topics will border on the two of them together. So second week, we'll do introduction, and under this, we will look at overview of traditional banking. Please, can you see the consult line? Please, I need response. Someone has sent me a message. Can you see the consult line? Because I'm sharing. Please let me know if you see it or you don't see it. Okay, all right. So you can see. Okay. I thought you were not seeing, so I was a bit worried. All right. So now that we can all see, we can see that in week 2, the first thing we will do is to look at overview of traditional banking. When we talk about traditional banking, what does it mean? You know, before you even understand electronic banking as a course, it is important you understand traditional banking. And with the understanding of traditional banking, I know that with the help of the elements of banking that you've already done in level 200, you are a bit okay. But you know, as students, we learn to forget. So at this level, we will just refresh our memory on what we did under electronic banking concerning what a bank is, what are some of the banking, what are some of the traditional banking products? I mean, the types of accounts, current account, savings account, etc., etc. This is where we will revisit them. It is just, you know, to refresh our memory on our traditional banking. But when we talk about traditional banking, as we'll get to know from next week, traditional banking has to do with banking within a confinement, as in banking within a particular location or a particular premises. That is why another name for electronic banking is brick and mortar banking. Brick and mortar banking. Gabriel, put on your microphone and talk to me, okay? You put on your microphone. I don't quite get what you are trying to say. Sorry, put on your microphone so that you explain it better to me. I can't get you well. Gabriel. Gabriel, can you hear me?
Okay, madam.
Please, what are you trying to say?
Please, you are sharing the virtual platform screen, so we can only see the virtual platform screen. You have opened, come to into electronic banking and electronic commerce. So it's only that we can see. We can't see what's outline.
Oh, I see. Oh, but some of your mates told me they can see their course outline. I'm now sharing. All right, don't worry. Don't worry. I'll stop because I was sharing it previously, but then I stopped it and I was sharing the course outline. But it looks like let me reshare the course outline.
Okay, madam.
Can you see now? I'm now sharing the course outline. Okay, all right. So I guess we are good to go. You can see now. Okay, so as I was saying, in week 2, we will look at traditional overview of traditional banking, what we refer to as brick and mortar banking. We refer to traditional banking as brick and mortar banking because of the fact that traditional banking is done within a particular premises. That is, in traditional banking, we have banking hall. Without a banking hall, there's no way traditional banking can take place, because traditional banking has to do with the fact that a customer will walk to a banking hall, see a banking officer, interact with a banking officer on face-to-face basis, and then have whatever he or she wants done for him or her. You get it? That is traditional banking. With traditional banking, there's nothing like telephone banking. There's nothing like you picking up your telephone and calling your bank. There's nothing like ATM banking. There's nothing like, you can name all the electronic banking devices. Because traditional banking is supposed to be done only within some sort of confinement or premises. That is why we call it brick and mortar. Brick and mortar because we use bricks or blocks and mortar to build. So brick and mortar is referring to premises. So we call traditional banking, another name we call it is brick and mortar. And then after that, we will look at overview of electronic banking and digital banking. Here, we will consider what we mean by electronic banking and digital banking. In most cases, people just use electronic banking and digital banking interchangeably, but these two, they are not the same. You know, one came before the other. There was electronic banking before digital banking came in. So we will look at what electronic banking entails and what digital banking entails. And we will try to strike the difference. We will find the main difference between electronic banking and digital banking. Then we will end week 2 with importance of electronic banking, stroke digital banking, of course. And here, with the importance, we will look at importance of electronic banking to the customer of the bank and importance of electronic banking to the bank itself. So we'll look at some of the things that are good, or some of the good things that electronic banking has brought into banking, which the bank benefits and which the customers also benefit. So we'll look at that. Then when we get to week 3, we will go into e-banking stroke digital banking technologies. E-banking and digital banking cannot be done without the aid of some devices. So in week 3, we will start looking at what we call aids. Aids as in not the AIDS, as in disease AIDS. So I'm talking about AIDS as in AIDS. In fact, it's the same spelling as AIDS, but I'm referring to aid as in facilitate, or as in, aid. To aid something, to facilitate, to conduct, or to help. I mean, it depends on the context you use it anyway. So look at aids to electronic banking, or what we also call electronic banking or digital banking technologies. We will look at some of these technologies from week 3, and the first technology we will consider is the automated teller machine, shortened as ATM. Now, ATM, as we know, there are a lot of information about ATM that we may not be aware of. In this class, we devote a full lecture to ATM. We learn about the history of ATM, the uses of ATM, security of ATM, ATM reliability, ATM fraud, and then we will, you see, ATM fraud is one area that I will show you videos. In fact, this course, I mostly teach the course with videos. Videos, because electronic banking and electronic commerce is supposed to be practical. It is not a course that I will just, you know, dump on you test information. No. You need to see how the concepts that we describe, how they work in the practical sense. So I most of the time have videos that I use to illustrate some of the concepts that we discuss. So when we get to ATM, we will watch a lot of videos about ATM users, ATM security, ATM reliability, ATM fraud. You see videos of how some ATM frauds have been conducted. And we also see videos on new developments in ATM, or what we call digital ATM. Digital ATM, which has made it possible for someone to be standing at the ATM and then be communicating live with a personnel at the bank. The personnel will be aiding him or her as to how to go about the usage of ATM. In fact, there are a lot more development in ATM. The ATM that we use in Ghana here, we are way behind. We will see how the advanced countries have modernized their ATMs and how these ATMs are helping with the way banking is done. That is in week 3. Then in week 4, we will still continue with the e-banking stroke digital banking technologies by looking at electronic cards. Electronic cards. In fact, electronic cards are also one of the very important electronic banking, digital banking, or electronic commerce technologies. You cannot do e-commerce or e-banking without electronic cards. We use electronic cards almost every day in our lives now. You go to the shopping mall, you pay with your card, you buy online, you pay with your card details, you do so many things, you pay with your card. So we will go into the details of electronic cards by, first of all, looking at the 2 main types of electronic cards. We will consider credit cards and debit cards. Now, we will go into the merits, the demerits, etc. of credit cards and debit cards. Then we will pick one example of a type of debit card which is used locally in Ghana called the EasyWish. We will go into the EasyWish and how it works. Then we will look at electronic cards numbering. We will look at electronic card fraud. When we get to this part, I normally show a documentary of an electronic card fraudster who has displayed or shown how he was stealing details of people's credit cards and then using those information against them. So we will watch videos and all that. Then we will look at new developments in electronic cards, new development. What are some of the new developments? Now, if you go to the advanced countries, they have made cards, electronic cards, which work like computer. You are holding a small plastic card, but then there's a chip in the card, which enables you to lock the card. And when you lock the card, all your details are erased from the card, such that should somebody steal your card, the person will not be able to use it against you. When you unlock, all your information comes back. This is one of the new developments in electronic cards, which have been developed in the advanced countries. I mean, in Ghana, we are not there yet. In fact, we will look at when ATM, for instance, was introduced in the advanced countries and when Ghana, when did we have our first ATM installed in Ghana? We will see when we start the course. Only in the 90s, but ATM had been introduced way back as far as the 1930s, 1960s, thereabout. So you can imagine how many years we are behind. Okay, then in week 5, we will still continue with the e-banking stroke digital banking technologies by looking at other technologies of e-banking. We will look at technologies like branch networking, personal computer banking. In fact, personal computer banking, or let me start with branch networking, there's a whole lot of argument, because if you look at all the technologies of electronic banking and digital banking, none of them depends on traditional banking, except for branch networking. Branch networking cannot exist without traditional banking. If I say traditional banking, I'm referring to the brick and mortar institution. I mean the premises. We cannot have branch networking if we don't have premises. So branch networking goes hand in hand with traditional banking. Meanwhile, it is an e-banking technology. So there has been a whole lot of arguments about the survival rate of branch networking, looking at the trend of technological advancement lately. And people are debating, I mean, there's a whole lot of debate. People are saying that branch networking will not survive in the future. Others are also saying that it will survive because some people, no matter what, will still make use of the banking premises. We shall see all these arguments plus more when we get to branch networking. Personal computer banking. This particular technology has faded out, but it is important you know. So I teach you, I say that it has faded out because the internet has overtaken that aspect of electronic banking. Personal computer banking used to be that type of banking where banks installed some sort of proprietary network on clients, or you can say some sort of proprietary softwares on clients' personal computers, so that once their clients were in their various homes or offices, they could have access to their bank account through the software that was installed on their PCs. But nowadays, we don't use those softwares anymore because there is internet. Internet has practically taken over personal computer banking, and it has even taken over mobile banking. You see, if you are doing mobile banking on your phone, you need internet. If you are doing personal computer banking on your laptop, you need internet. So we shall look at what personal computer banking is, what goes into it. We shall look at what internet/online banking is, because now the internet has redefined and reshaped the way we do things in life. I've told you some of the things I have used the internet for. And I know most of you too have used the internet to do way lots and lots of things. So the internet has practically taken over everything. We will look at what goes into internet banking. We will look at what goes into mobile banking. But as we already know, you cannot do mobile banking without the internet. Of course, there's an aspect of mobile banking that you can do without the internet, but that one is not digital banking. Then you'll be doing electronic banking. If you want to do pure digital banking, which is now the order of the day with respect to mobile banking, then you need the internet, because the mobile banking that we do nowadays, we use apps of various banks. You install your bank's app on your phone, and these apps cannot work without the internet. So my brothers and sisters, internet is everywhere. We shall look at all of them. We will also look at some of the new developments in these technologies. Then in week 6, we will go into electronic commerce. We will begin electronic commerce. So we'll have an overview of electronic commerce where we will define e-commerce, what we mean by e-commerce, the various divisions in e-commerce. We will also look at overview of e-business. There's also people, in fact, some people think that, and there has been a lot of arguments when it comes to e-commerce and e-business. Others are saying that e-commerce is the superset whilst e-business is a subset. Others are also saying that e-business is the superset and e-commerce happens to be the subset. You see, all these people debating, but then we shall see which one is true or which one is it represents the order of the day. So when we get here, we'll take a look at overview of e-commerce. We'll also take a look at an overview of e-business. Then we will distinguish, we'll find the main difference between e-commerce and e-business. We will also go into the deeper explanations of e-business by looking at the e-business models. If I talk about e-business models, I'm referring to the consumer to consumer, the consumer to business to consumer, B2C, C2C, and a whole lot. We'll look at all of them. But we all know that now e-commerce is also the order of the day. E-commerce is the buying and selling online, or buying and selling with the aid of an electronic device. In fact, if you are into business and you don't do e-commerce, then it means that you are not making full use of or you are not capitalizing on the internet and its benefits that it presents. Because most of the income or revenues raised by businesses are now raised from e-commerce. So e-commerce is the order of the day. I advertise my products on a lot of social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube, GG, etc. All these are e-commerce platforms. So e-commerce is the order of the day. And we will go into the deeper explanations of e-commerce to see what it entails, or e-business to see what it also entails. Then in week 7, we will look at electronic commerce topologies and securities of electronic transactions. Now, electronic commerce topologies are very, very important. Here, when we talk about electronic commerce topologies, we are basically referring to electronic commerce technologies. Those technologies which make electronic commerce possible. And we have 3 main technologies here. We have what we call the internet, as we already know, the worldwide platform. We have the intranet, and then we have the extranet. So we will look at what the internet is and how it aids electronic commerce. We'll look at what intranet is, how it aids electronic commerce, and then what extranet is and how it aids electronic commerce. We'll look at that. Then we will go into security of electronic transactions. In fact, security is very, very, very important when it comes to electronic banking and electronic commerce. You know, once you are online, you are exposed to the world, or you get yourself exposed to the world. If you are not well protected, anybody at all can just hack into your system and then do away with some private information which may end up going against you. So it is important, at least we know some of the basic security mechanisms which we can put in place as a business to help protect our personal information from getting into unauthorized hands. So we'll consider some of these authentication measures like access control, firewall, and encryption. We'll look at what goes into these electronic authentication mechanisms and how they can help us in our businesses. Then in week 8, we will consider web strategy and e-banking risk management. Web strategy is very, very, very important because now as a business, whether it's a bank or it's a trade, whatever, we normally deal with a website. Now, if you have your own business and you have a website, the way your website is designed determines whether you will have people visiting the websites or people not visiting the website. Now, as banking and finance students, we are not the people who design websites or web pages. But what we do is that we give advice to the technical men who design the web page as to the kind of information to place at the website so that we will be able to attract more people to visit the website. And when they visit, it is not just about visiting once and then not coming back, but then visiting the first time and then revisiting. Why is the revisitation important to us as a business? Revisitation of customers to our website is important to us as a business because the more people visit our website, I mean the frequency they visit our website, the more they get to familiarize themselves with what we do, get to know our products, so that our products and services, of course, so that should they be in need of similar products, our business will be the first on their minds. They will come to us, buy from us, we'll be able to increase our revenue, and the overall effects will be increments in profitability, which will help us as finance students to help do what? Maximize shareholders' wealth, which is the overall objective of every business. So it is not just, our interest is not just with people visiting the website, but what interests us most is the outcome that will come from the visitation, and the overall outcome that we expect is increments in our profitability. So designing the website is very, very important. The kind of information to place at your website is so important. This is the reason why some researchers conducted a research, and then they came up at the end of their research, they developed some factors that they think that if you design a website and you apply these factors, which they call attractors, it will help your website to have more people visiting it and revisiting all the time. Some of these attractors they came up with are entertainment park, archive, exclusive sponsorship, the gift shop, the club, customer service center. So when we get to this stage, we will pick all these attractors one after the other, and then look at what goes into each and every one of them, and how we can apply the attractor when it comes to designing our website to get the full benefits of these attractors. Then we will also look at e-banking risk management. E-banking risk management. Now, okay, all right, no problem. Okay, you can come in. You can come in. I'm coming on. It looks like somebody wants to come in. I don't have, is it coming in as in the person wants me to admit him to the meeting? I don't have anybody knocking. There's nobody at the door knocking. You should knock. When you knock, I'll open. Sorry, as I'm teaching, I'm also responding to your messages. So if a person comes in, I'll let the person. Or is it that the person wants to come in as in contribute? If the person wants to come in as in contribute or ask question, the person can do so. Just unmute your microphone and come in. All right, so let me go on. Let me go on. No, there's nobody at the door. There's nobody knocking. I can't see anybody knocking. There's nobody knocking. As soon as somebody knocks, I get the prompts. I get the alert. So I just allow you to come in. All right. So as I was saying, we will look at all these attractors, and then after that, we'll go into e-banking risk management. E-banking risk management. Now, e-banking risk management is an important topic because, you know, as banks, once they have chosen to be involved in electronic banking, it means that they have to be fully prepared when it comes to securing their systems. Because if you're a bank and you don't invest in your security, it means you become vulnerable. Hackers can hack into your system, do away with your client's information. And when they use client information against you, against them, the clients can take you on. If you remember section 85 of the Banking Act, which talks about clients information secrecy. Banks are supposed to keep their clients' information secret. So as a bank, if you become negligent and then somebody just hack into your system and do away with your client's information, for instance, their card details, and use it against them, they can take you on and you bear the full legal consequences. So we'll look at the various types of e-banking risk and how the Basel II electronic banking risk management principles can be applied to help banks manage or do away their risk. In week 9, we may have mid-semester, but don't worry about that. I may not do it in week 9. I may do my mid-semester at the end of the semester. After we are done with everything, I may do, that is when we may do the objects, or that's the test I spoke of, or as we move on, if I feel that in week 9 we should do it, then we will do it. Don't worry. My class assessment, I have control over it. When I conduct it, it's my business. So don't worry about that. When I want us to do it at any particular time, I'll let you know and you'll prepare for it. Now, so the next topic will be truncation of checks via electronic means. Here we'll look at how checks are cleared, as well as other negotiable instruments, how they are cleared in Ghana. We will start by looking at the manual clearing system as we used to have it, where checks took 9 days or even more for them to be cleared, and a whole lot of business opportunities were lost, a whole lot of uncomfortable situations that people found themselves in. We'll look at what the manual clearing system entails, and we'll look at the structure of the payment system in Ghana. We'll look at the role of GIFS, Ghana Interbank Payment and Settlement System, the role of GIFS in the payment system of Ghana. We will look at check online clearing and then Ghana Automated Clearinghouse. So when we get to this topic, this one is very practical because everything has to do with Ghana. And I'll show you video on how they work in practical sense. And then we'll go into week 11, other issues related to electronic banking and electronic commerce. Here we'll look at the message switching system for banks, and the main message switching system for banks is SWIFT. SWIFT, we know of the SWIFT transfer. Full meaning of SWIFT is Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunication. So we'll look at what goes into SWIFT. I may give this to you as an assignment, but then when you present, I will come in with further explanations, or I may teach it, it depends. Then we will also look at some legal issues. The legal issues will consider Electronic Transactions Act of Ghana, and then the ancestral model of laws. Then we will go into cryptocurrency and blockchain technology, which is now the order of the day. This one definitely you do as a group work and then come and present to look at how the cryptocurrency and blockchain technology work, the various types of cryptocurrency that we have, like Bitcoin, etc., and a whole lot of other issues that fall under that. Then in week 13, we'll end it with future of digital banking. We'll look at future of digital banking platforms, future of electronic banking technologies, and future of cryptocurrency and blockchain technologies. Assessment, I've already spoken about it. for the reading materials, I think these, I'll check if I have soft copies of these books and then they are not on the LMS, I'll put them there. You can, use it as your reading material. But this course, getting books that relates to Ghana is very difficult. So make do with the course materials I've given to you. Then you can supplement it with these required reference lists. I'm writing a book on electronic commerce. I pray for more grace so that when I'm done, that will be a very good book that will aid this course. Now, there are other books as well that you can buy. You can get them at the various bookshops. They are also here. When you download the course outline, you have them as well. Okay, so this is basically what we'll be doing this semester. At the end of every lecture, please remind me that every lecture I'll record. At the end of every lecture, I'll download the video. I'll upload the video on my YouTube channel, and I'll give you the link I'll place, because it is not, the LMS cannot pick up to a certain megabyte of videos. Normally, the videos that we do, or the recording that we do when lecturing, like for 2 hours now I've been recording, or almost 2 hours now I've been recording, I cannot upload that video on the LMS. It will not pick it. So unless I place it at my YouTube channel, then I'll place the link at the LMS, so that when you click on the link, you can go to my YouTube channel and then download the video and watch it again. Watch it again. So that whatever information you couldn't get during the lecture, in your own spare or free time, you can rewatch this lecture and then you'll be okay with whatever you couldn't get. But don't forget, whenever you go to my YouTube channel, don't forget to subscribe and like my YouTube channel. All right, so this is where we'll bring the curtain down on today's lecture. Today being the first day, we did just an introduction. So I will give you chance to ask any question you may have concerning what I have talked about. Everything I've talked about, you can ask any question. That is if you have questions, please. You can unmute your microphone and ask your question. You can unmute your microphone. So I have asked all of you to unmute your microphone. So if you want to talk, you can unmute your microphone. And then you ask any question you want. I'm waiting. If you don't have any question too, you can let me know. My personal line is 0275 452 478. This happens to also be my WhatsApp line, so you can reach me on that. Okay, all right, Gabriel, you can ask your question. I've seen your hand raised. Please unmute your microphone and ask your question. I'm waiting for you, Gabriel. Your hand is up. Unmute your microphone and ask your question. Unmute it. I've asked you to unmute, so. Gabriel, you can unmute your microphone.
Okay, hello, madam.
Hello, I'm listening.
Okay, please, I was asking,
Does
it mean we are going to have tests every week? I'm asking this because some of the lectures
I
will
didn't
be
hear
referring us
you.
to go to the page. Hello, madam.
I didn't get you well. Oh, the line was breaking.
Please, can you hear me now?
Yes, please. I can hear you now.
Please, I'm asking whether we are going to have like we are going to continue this Zoom meeting every week. Yes, I'm asking this because some of the lecturers they're referring us that we should go to the virtual platform and get the notes and code. So I'm asking if you be having the class on Zoom for us, maybe for better understanding or clarification.
The Zoom meetings. Yeah, we'll be having them. You said some of the lecturers refer you to the platform. Hello? Hello? Okay, Gabriel, your microphone is off, but we will be having the class. We'll be having it. We'll be having, because I want to even finish with the online. I want to do as many as I can before we resume the face-to-face, because the evening lectures I don't like. I don't like evening lectures at all. When I'm teaching at evening, I don't like it at all because I live very far. That's why to UPSA. So me, I want to even use this opportunity to finish as much as I can so that when we resume for face-to-face, it will just be something small and will be done. I hope you get me. The school actually has customized this, so I don't know if they have bought this. They have bought a subscription for Zoom for us, and they have how do you call it? Enrolled us, all of us. So we are not using the ordinary Zoom. We are using the customized one that the school has purchased. The school has actually paid for it. So we can hold lectures for as many hours as we want, up to 24 hours, with as many participants, over 300. So it is the school that told us to use this platform. So don't worry, we'll be having it. The day that we don't have it, then it means I have light off. If I have light off, if I have light off, we can postpone. And maybe if we are supposed to meet in a particular day and there's lights out, then I may ask you to join the weekend group on Sunday. Sunday, we can do it Sunday, and then you can catch up so that you won't miss anything. So don't worry. When there's light off, we can reschedule at any time. You ask for evening day, I want to even finish and then, because I don't like evening lectures. But I'm the only person teaching this course. Nobody wants to teach this course. Any other question? Please ask me questions, okay? I'm ready to take your questions. Ask me.
Hello, madam.
Yes, my dear.
Good evening once again.
Good evening, my dear.
Okay, so you made mention that the school has given you lecturers the platform to lecture for as long as you can. But on the part of we students, we don't have anything like that. So we get to pay for lots of data. Can something be done about that?
I'm paying for my own data. The school doesn't pay for my data. Hey, I'm paying for my own data. You know what? They had an agreement with Vodafone, so that if you are using Vodafone, it used to be free, the data. I don't know if it still exists. Me, I use MTN. So even during that time they were using the Vodafone free, I was using MTN. So I always pay. You get it? So you can find out if that agreement still exists. Then you can get a Vodafone chip purposely for lectures, because that one, the Vodafone data I know was free, but I don't know if it is still there. But what I mean by the school customizing the Zoom for us doesn't mean they've paid for our data, or the lecturers are using our own money to buy data. It is just that, you know, with the ordinary Zoom or with the normal Zoom, you can only do lectures for 1 hour and with only 100 participants. But the school has bought a subscription. So now it enables us to have like over 300 participants and with up to 24 hours of lectures, if you can only do it. Okay.
Okay, thank you with that clarification.
All right.
My second question is, you know, some of us, so now we haven't paid our fees and we can't access the virtual platform.
Yes.
But yet would be on the same level with those who have an accessing. So when it comes to quizzes and learning materials, could it be sent to us on our WhatsApp platform that we can all access it?
My dear, I don't want to be sacked though. I am acting strictly on what the school has instructed. We have been instructed to only use the LMS for our lecture materials. That is what the school told us, because the school wants its fees. And we have been told that we shouldn't use any other medium for learning materials. In fact, the school specifically spent money in training lecturers on how to use the LMS, because they say that is the medium we are going to use for our lecture materials. So I can't do that, even though I would want to. But if I'm caught, I'll be in trouble. So for now, but I don't need to say this anyway. I'm being recorded, so. But you guys know what to do. I don't want to say certain things. I'm being recorded, my dear. You can sort yourself out, okay?
All right, please. Thank you.
You are most welcome. Any other question? I have 5 more minutes. If you don't have any questions, we can end. Okay, so I guess silence means consent, or you don't have any question, but you know, that statement is very dangerous. It is not true in law. Silence does not mean consent. So, but in this case, I will take your silence to mean you are okay. There's a hand up. Who is it? Let me see. Barbara. Barbara, please, you can ask your question. Barbara Sefako, please ask your question. I'm listening. You are the one who spoke. I've seen that there's a hand up for Barbara and Gabriel. Please, you can ask her. Just unmute yourself and ask the microphone. I mean, unmute yourself and speak to our hearing.
Hello, madam. Please, I was the one who asked the question. Thank you.
Oh, you are most welcome. Then Gabriel, you can come in. I saw your hand up. Gabriel, your microphone is not working. But I've asked you to unmute. I've asked you to unmute, Gabriel.
Okay, madam, please, it's working now.
All right. You can talk.
Okay. Actually, I was coming in when you were calling Barbara to speak, and
okay.
Yeah.
I'm listening. Gabriel,
but madam, I said I was coming in when Barbara, we were calling Barbara. Yes, please.
You were coming in. The line is breaking. The line is breaking, so I can't hear you. You are off. I've asked you to unmute.
Madam, please continue.
Okay. All right. I'm done. Oh. So if you don't have any questions, we can call it an evening. Can we close? Are you all okay? I need some responses. I need to hear from you. Can we close for today?
Yes, madam, please, we are okay.
All right. Okay, so nice having you. We'll meet again next week, same time, to begin with topic 1. So please make a date and then live online. But like I said, after every lecture, I'll place the video, the link, and the LMS. And then when you go to YouTube, you type my name, Deborah Adu-Twumwaah's channel, you will see your lecture notes videos there. So those of you who haven't paid fees too, that is also another way of having access to the lecture videos when you miss class. I wish you all the best. Enjoy your evening. Good night.